Hey, I'm Eli.
Hey, I'm Nicholas.
I'm Sean.
And we're Walk the Moon.
We're here at Amoeba.
For
What's in my bag?
This is a record called Steve McQueen by a band called Prefab Sprout. This record came out a while ago. I think it's mid-'80s. But I just discovered it in the last year. The production is really exciting, and it's paired with like really cool songwriting and really arty arrangements. So I love this record.
the record's called Steve McQueen?
The record is called Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen is not the artist.
The band is called Prefab Sprout.
Is Steve McQueen somebody I should know?
Yeah, he's an action star.
Okay. So it's like if I release a record called Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, which is maybe not a bad idea.
When love breaks down, the lies we tell, they only serve to fool ourselves.
I picked a record called Still Bill by Bill Withers. Bill Withers, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say, is my #1 favorite vocalist. From a super young age, I mean, my parents were always playing his music in the house. To me, it's like the epitome of this like effortless, soulful voice. Time and time again, you know, I'll take a break from Bill, and then I'll come back and be like, man, he's still the king for me.
Oh, you just keep on using me. Hey, until you use me up.
We've got Michael McDonald, If That's What It Takes,
Yes.
featuring the single, I Keep Forgetting. Michael McDonald is just like, he's another one of those incredible singers that is always paired with incredible musicians. It's a great record.
Don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. I know.
Pinegrove. The record is Cardinal. This year, the Pinegrove record Skylight was pretty much one of 2 records that I needed to live. Really heartfelt folk music that I just connect to a whole lot and like makes me fanboy as a 35-year-old man, you know, like makes me like geek out, and I love it so much. Here's a fun fact about Pinegrove and Walk the Moon is that the lead singers of the respective bands were at Kenyon College in Ohio at the same time and knew each other.
Yeah, we would actually sit in practice rooms and like play each other's songs once upon a time.
I know the first track on this record, called Old Friends, which just like guts me every single time, but I don't know the rest of the record, so I'm excited to check it out.
Walking out in the nighttime, springtime, needling my way home, I saw leaves.
I have here Mama Africa by Peter Tosh. I'm obsessed with reggae music, and I'm not really sure why. It's just when I put on something, it's usually reggae. It like soothes me on some deep level. I also love how the music and the lyrics are often, in a way, like seemingly at odds, where the lyrics are often very sorrowful or speaking about hardship or heartbreak, and the music is always just steady. It's like this message, like everything's gonna be okay no matter what. And Peter Tosh is just one of the greats, and this has one of my all-time favorite songs, Johnny Be Good. His version of Johnny Be Good is so epic, and it's got this massive synth line, and it's juicy.
Be a man. Got to be the leader of a reggae band.
This is kind of like a double find. This is, we got Bootsy Collins' demo for James Brown, which like started off the J.B.'s, and also an unreleased J.B.'s album featuring Bootsy, which, yeah, I'm really excited to dig into these.
When you were talking about the juxtapositions of the music in the Peter Tosh, I was kind of thinking the same thing about Iron Maiden. If you look at this cover, like Eddie is skinless, this skinless corpse of Eddie and Satan, and the record's called Number of the Beast. Like, the art could not be harder, right? The art could not be more evil. And then the music is kind of like, it's just not that evil. The music is not that, it's triumphant, it's dramatic.
It's the opposite
you
of
know?
evil. It's about defeating, like, Number of the Beast is about like being afraid of evil,
Right,
basically.
Right. And so there's this juxtaposition between like what it looks like and what it actually is. And I think it's like, I mean this in the kindest way, like deeply uncool. And I love that, you know? And often that's when we're writing, like that's the stuff that feels the best for us, is when we're just like not worried about like trying to be super cool or hip or any of that, when we're just like being ourselves, and often that leads us to being deeply nerdy and deeply uncool as well. And so that's the relationship between Peter Tosh and Iron Maiden and Walk the Moon.
Pretty much all the records that I've chosen are deeply connected to Black artists and African music and African American music, soul music. I'm realizing as I'm leafing through all these records, like how important that legacy has been to like my personal taste and musicianship. And I picked up a David Bowie record, Young Americans, which is kind of the moment in his career where he like took a step towards soul and has these beautiful like soulful influences and funk on Fame.
What you get is no tomorrow. What you need, you have to borrow.
And then I also grabbed this record by Johnny Clegg, who's a South African artist who was a pioneer combining African and Western styles. Maybe it's obvious, I guess, but it's just like, wow, like so much of the music that's happening now is really just branching from African music and African American music. It's just like, it's all so interconnected.
How will I do these chains? Kizawakumula maketa. How will I do these chains? Kizawakumula maketa.
Thank you so much for talking with us today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Release yourself.